All right, so I'm here with my buddy Sean Coffey, the coffee shop. He is killing it right now. And since I've met him, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's nice. I haven't seen you in some time.
Man, it has been a while. The last time I saw you, I believe you were painting on the street at one of the Redfish Bowl events, and I forget where we even met. I believe it was at a Redfish Bowl event.
I would probably say it was either there or a Raw show.
It was not a Raw show. I have never been to one of those or not attended. I'm not a big fan of their layout.
Dude, at first I loved it. Now I just fucking hate it now.
Yeah.
Because it's... I understand the premise of it, but they, in a way, rip off the artist.
Yeah.
Like, you get 40 plus artists in one venue that's donated. You got to sell tickets, $15 to $20 a piece.
The whole ticket thing is what lost me. It's like, it's one thing if you sell tickets for a couple bucks.
Yeah, but then it's like 15, 20. It's like, come on. That's like, you figure $300, that's at least that's $12,000 that they're getting, and all the supplies are repurposed.
Right.
And sometimes, like, you don't even get the supplies that you need, and you got to run out and buy more.
Well, that $15 ticket is somebody leaving with a small piece of artwork.
If that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But most people have like a $5, $10, $15 print that you can walk out the door with, you know?
Yeah.
And that's... If I'm spending $15 to go to a show to look at artwork, that kind of makes me not want to spend money on the artwork. I can make a ton of money as it is, you know?
Right? I mean, dude, the life as an artist is just nothing but being in the red.
It's tough.
And I'm saying that as someone who works full-time,
Right.
and you're a full-time artist.
Yeah, it's tough. You gotta get up every day, like we were talking about earlier. You have your coffee and go into the studio. And like working for yourself, it's really just staying focused is the hardest part. Having that something to keep you focused in a direction, so you're not sitting there getting up in the morning and getting lost in the distractions.
Well, what keeps you focused then? Because I mean, if you don't have work,
lots and lots of pot. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
No, it's not all that, but
yeah, but okay. So I mean,
it is not all that. It's it's the idea, the passion to want to make something. You know, I've had jobs where I was making things for other people, and I really enjoy the making thing aspect, but I really don't like the working for other people aspect.
Yeah. Well, when you're working for someone else, you're working for their dream and their passion, and you're really just getting up and going to work to survive in a way. So when you're working for yourself, you're doing it for you.
Right.
But if you have downtime, or like, what is your ways to keep business coming in?
Man, at this point, because I've been around for so long, word of mouth keeps me fairly busy. I like to go out in public and like a little podcast like this, get new clients to check out the website and things like that. But the Redfish Bowl events and just meeting certain people, or you hear over conversation somebody's looking for a certain item. I hand out a ton of cards. A little bit of internet presence. I try not to spend too much time on the internet because you can get lost on that really easy.
I get lost on it now because everything has turned political in some way, or political correctness, or somebody's complaining about something. Not that it's not valid,
right?
But I can't take it anymore. Like, because everyone's feelings are in a jumble right now, and they're going fucking crazy. And I find myself getting into there too. So I'm not bashing anyone that is all about it.
Right.
But I went through my phase of putting my political belief out there, which ended up hurting me financially.
It can.
Because I lost my job.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
Because I wasn't supporting the person that the CFO supported.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it sucked. I mean,
surprised you couldn't sue his ass for that.
You can't, because it was nothing documented on it.
Oh wow.
And
that's weird.
And it was never like, Red, you don't like this person, so you're fired.
Some people suck.
Yeah, and that's what it boils down to him. I mean, he sucks.
Yeah, morally, at the end of the day, when it comes down to politics, that's one of the reasons I stay off the internet. That mixed with the coronavirus mumbo jumbo right now.
Oh my god, dude!
There's so much fake stuff floating around that it's unless you're spending all day researching what's true or not, it's hard to find out what is true.
Yeah, it's. What's funny is that like you even said that is I was listening to another podcast and Tom Segura, comedian, if you're familiar with him, he was saying how growing up his dad told him that Tommy Lee Jones was gay, and he's like, all right, but how do you know? And he was like, he's just gay. So he went around telling
everybody,
telling everyone until he's in college, and his roommate or one of the people he knew was like a movie came on, he was like, oh, Tommy Lee Jones, he's gay. And they were like, no, he's not. He's like, yeah, he is. He's like, where'd you hear this? He's like, my dad. And they were like, I know his family. I know his wife. Like, we've been on vacations. He's like, my dad and him are good friends. He's like, oh, so that's how shit starts.
Right.
All because of his dad. He was like, so I called my dad. He was like, Dad, dude, why'd you tell me Tommy Lee Jones was gay? He's like, because I thought he was. And he like...
But people are very, very susceptible to reading something and thinking what they want from it. Instead of actually doing the research to find out what it means, they'll take their own idea from it and then run with it. Like a bat out of hell. Next thing you know, man.
It's like, that's not even what I was saying.
Right.
That actually happened to me, and I actually deleted the post because I got tired of getting the updates. I was like, this is... It was about, like, it was right after Kobe Bryant passed.
Right.
And I was like, it was basically like, look, we don't know the full story on anything. Mm-hmm. Politicians, celebrities, your favorite people have been accused of everything. We never know. And I'm not victim blaming or anything, but we don't know the truth.
It is. Yeah. It's hard to know.
And then this hip-hop artist that I used to listen to now, past tense, he was like, gee, I guess I would never thought a graffiti writer would have shitty politics on rape. And I'm like, that's not what I said. And like, I'm not really a graffiti writer. I like graffiti. Like I'm like, what are you talking about? So like, I'm like, oh my god, people read into everything that's not there.
They really do. The internet's a crazy, scary place. You really got to watch what you put out there, man.
And it can be used against you.
Oh, it can make or break a career. That's why I'll post a couple pictures of my artwork, maybe a picture of me and my lady on vacation, but other than that, the internet doesn't need to know my opinions.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Like, I'm not putting my opinions out there because God forbid somebody disagrees with them.
Right.
And then it causes an issue.
Well, I mean, if somebody wants to know your opinion that bad, they could come ask you. You know?
Yeah, but then it's like they're going to put you on blast if you disagree with them.
People are less likely to put you on blast face to face.
See, I'm not that way. I'll call someone out.
Oh, I will too, but people in general, they'll be a warrior on the internet, and then you ask them in real life, and they're like, oh.
They're like, well, I was just fucking around.
It's the internet, right?
Yeah. Just because I said it on Facebook doesn't mean I meant it.
And you really got to watch what you put out there as well, because with your artwork nowadays, I mean, you put a straight-on image of your artwork, high pixels. Somebody from China could have that plastered on a T-shirt on Amazon the next night.
Yeah, see, has that happened to you?
That has not happened to me, but I know people that it has happened to, and I know... I've read into a lot of cases of it because I wanted to put some products on Amazon, and one of the big things, if your product sells a lot and it's very simple to copy the image, people from China will take it and they'll put it on mugs or not even just China, all these different places that Amazon sells from.
And to go through litigation for copyright, it's like
you really can't in other countries like that. I mean, none of us have the money, and most of the time. It'll go away, the company will disappear, and by the time your lawyer goes after them, they're going to an address that's in an abandoned warehouse somewhere, and they're like, well, and then it's up again on like Alibaba.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, luckily I haven't done that, and honestly, luckily I haven't gotten in trouble for I don't want to say copyright infringement, but borderline, because a lot of the stuff I do or I've done in the past has been manipulated from previous images.
And so a lot of people in the art world in the past, especially in the pop art world, I mean, a lot of them are the same exact images of the item that it is. You know? So there's a fine line between.
And that's something that's actually been kind of bothering me. Is I enjoy pop art for so many reasons. Like it's very nostalgic. It's very friendly. It's very like in the moment, I guess, at that very time. So now it's like when I see it, I'm like, oh my god! Like I'm tired of seeing Mickey Mouse. I'm tired of seeing like all these characters that people are just redoing.
Oh yeah.
And believe me, I just did some Snoopy drawings and stuff like that, but I kind of made him almost like he's cracked out in a way and just all wired.
Right.
But for the last maybe 2 years, that hasn't been my MO, I guess. That hasn't been my calling or style.
Well, you know, as an artist, if somebody else is using your work as a reference, you kind of have to look at it as like a compliment. You're like,
in some ways,
you almost, if you're looking at it as a negative, it's one thing if they're stealing the image and then trying to sell that exact image. But if they're taking your idea or your image and using it as a reference towards something new, I mean, almost everything nowadays is referenced off someone else. These boots, you know what I mean? Like
originality is now based on change, like in a way.
ZZ Top, all ZZ Top is old blues licks from classic blues players played with like some distortion and their own words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like Tenacious D. They made like their whole one song, like the greatest song in the world, is a joke about. I don't know if it's a joke, but the whole song is different riffs from other songs.
Yeah,
and they tell you about that when they first made it. Like, well, this is part of so-and-so song, and this is part of so-and-so song, and then we put it all together and said it was the greatest song in the world. And it's like...
it's like, in a way, you did.
Right? And any artist back in the day, you know, somebody's always done a portrait. Somebody's always done a certain style of artwork. Nowadays, it's slightly hard to be original. You have to incorporate all of these different things.
Yeah, but, like, I see your work, and you do painting, sculpting, woodwork. Also, you, I know when the one show that we were at, I was like, what are all these? Like, you had chemicals with you in a way.
Yeah.
And you did these boxing gloves. It was at Spirit.
Yeah, so I was actually just painting that one. That was just a painting. I didn't do that on metal.
Oh, that wasn't on...
Nah, that was just a painting. That was back when... So when I live paint, sometimes I'll do that. I've been trying to get Chris to set me up something to do with the chemicals, but that's kind of tough. Like, if something were to catch on fire, or...
Well, but couldn't you do it outside? Or
I could, but you know what I mean. Just, what if a chemical flies on somebody? I don't want to be liable for
then
that.
That's art. You charge them. Be like,
yeah, that freckle?
Yeah.
$50.
Yeah. I own that freckle.
Right. Sign off on it. $3,000. You can keep it.
Yeah. Well, so, like, what got you... Because I love your chemical manipulation, or because it's all on sheet metal, right?
Yeah, it's so that's more of the cool part of the artwork that I do. I mean, even my regular artwork, if you look at the subject matter of it, other people have done subjects similar to mine. The medium is what's kind of experimental, you know. There's not too many people, or there's not anybody that can sit down with you and show you how to paint with water and salt and peroxide and get the different layers and levels of depth that we achieved.
So,
you know.
Yeah, but how do you go from a piece of sheet metal to using these and actually having the image? Is there something you have to draw the image on and then code it in a way so it doesn't... So,
when I transfer an image, I'm kind of just transfer it in a pretty traditional way, just a graphite transfer piece of paper, you know. Well, I don't buy the graphite paper, you know. I just kind of take chalk and scratch it on the back, and then I'll sketch on a piece of regular white paper what I want the image to be. Sometimes I'll tape a bunch together and slap it on there, and then I'll just transfer it on, because you can't really project or anything like that onto the steel once you start opening it up, because the projector just gets blurred, because there are so many different levels. You know what I mean? So projecting on the metal is like projecting on the ocean.
Yeah. It just waves everywhere.
Yeah, so it's just these little tiny grooves make it almost impossible to look at something. So that's one way. Sometimes I'll just sketch it on the piece by hand with chalk, you know.
I love chalk.
Just wipe it off if I mess up. And sometimes I'll spend a couple hours sketching. I'm not the greatest at sketching.
But if you're not, then whatever you're putting on, like, it's phenomenal. Because, like...
It'll take me like an hour or two to get a piece looking right. I'm not just one of those people. I wish I was one of those people that could walk up and just bam, 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 bam. Tiger!
Yeah.
Peace!
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Ow.
You know, but it's more like... Oh, shit.
Yeah, erase it.
Erase, and then like 2 hours later, bam! Yeah, sprinkle the salt.
Well, a lot of times what I do when I'm trying to sketch something is I pull up Google Images as a reference. I mean, like, to me, that's the easiest way to do it, just to get a shape, and sometimes shading too, like to see how I want to do it.
Oh yeah,
I love Google Images.
Well, Google Images nowadays is the biggest photo reference factory that you can have. You can find a picture of somebody doing anything. Yeah. Pondering the sky, you know, just to get shapes or whatever.
I actually went through when I did a series a year ago, 2 years ago. It was called No More, and it was just this dude that was just like kind of just sketched out all just black and white, just looking down, looking in different areas. And I was like, I need a reference of a man looking up or something, and then I turned him into a bird. Like once I did, and it was like that helped me. I was like, so now when I'm moving forward, I'm like, all right, I can remember how this body part went.
Who was it? Was it Michelangelo that painted the Sistine Chapel? So if you think about, he couldn't find references or images of what he wanted to paint, and he was like mainly a sculptor. He didn't really like to paint, but they made him paint that anyway. And he would make like sculptures of the imagery, so he could see exactly what they would look like before he would paint them.
Oh, so there's sculpts. There's sculptures out there.
Maybe, I don't know. I just read that in this book that I have at the house. It says he would make like sculptures of like what he was needing to paint, so he could get light and reference, because he didn't have any real references of what it should look like. But him being a sculptor, he maybe, I don't know if he did little clay ones or big ones, but it'd be cool, you know, like he's up there painting on the ceiling and have his little clay model.
Yeah.
That took him a long time to do that.
Wasn't it like 14 years?
Yeah, it was a very, very long time.
Because like you can't go in on Sundays because I guess they don't have church.
It's just laying upside down. And
I've never painted upside down.
John and I have painted a ceiling, then I've painted a couple other ceilings myself. They're not fun.
No, because you're constantly like this, or
you got, man, it's like 3 hours.
So
and you're done for the day.
Yeah, well, your neck's killing you. It's like a tattoo artist in a way, because they're constantly like
sitting down, like hunched over. Oh man, I would go straight to Planet Fitness and sit in the massage chair right after we would get done.
See, I'd fall asleep.
It's only like 10 minutes.
I just keep hitting that button. You
can't. They got these little tokens now. You can't just go in and.
So your membership has to pay.
Well, you pay $20, I guess, every day. You can use the massage chair once, the tanning bed once if you want to.
I used to tan.
I like, if it's free and I haven't seen the sun for like 30 days, like we do here every now and then, I'll get in there just to be like, I'm at the beach.
It feels good.
You know what I mean? Get some sun on you.
Yeah, but my problem with it, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but like when I get in a tanning bed, they got that fan at the bottom that's blowing up on you. Next thing I know, like, I feel awkward because I'm getting an erection in here.
That's funny.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have like this
like weird shadow.
Yeah. Like,
that's funny.
Like, what happened here? Don't ask.
It's like at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Depending on how you stand, it's like a sundial.
Yeah. and I couldn't stop, and then like the more like I would go, because I got into it for a while.
That's funny.
I'd be like, don't get hard, don't get hard, don't get hard. Next thing you know, I'm just like, it was like, as soon as I lay down, 6 to midnight, dude. I'm like, fuck.
That's funny. You have to get one at the house, just, you know, for you and the lady.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey.
I invested in this tanning bed. I took all of the bulbs out, and the only thing that works when you plug it in to save electricity is the fan.
Yeah.
Let me hop in there for a couple seconds and come out, baby. Woo!
Yeah. Like, nice to meet you.
Right.
Put the kids away.
Yeah, right. That's funny. So this one doesn't have that. It's got like a fan, like 3 fans at the top, so it kind of like showers you down this way, so you don't ever really get hot.
Yeah.
Which is scary. I feel like you could be in there like cooking and just like
awesome. But I love the feeling. I love the feeling of it,
especially if you haven't seen the sun in days. Which Pittsburgh will hit you with like a 45-day stretch of no sun.
Yeah, that's one thing I hate about living this way is the influx of the weather, because it's like it's hit or miss. Like yesterday, it was really nice for a second, and then all of a sudden you got all this like snow and hail and rain mixed together.
Last night was wild.
Yeah, and then it's like all of a sudden it stopped. Man, it's beautiful out.
Tomorrow's gonna be beautiful too. It's gonna be in like the 60s.
Oh, that's great.
It's gonna be real nice.
Now, so going from this from your, would it be enamel projections or
no? What? How I'm putting the images out?
Yeah, like you do that, and then like you do canvas work, or
I do some canvas work. The only reason I was doing canvas work for a while because I got all of this sign canvas for free. So I had, like, you know, the big signs that they put out in front of Walmart that's like, now opening, or like stores, like the big fuckers. Well, they're canvas, and the back of them usually are like open canvas. So you can buy them for all kinds of stuff. You can use them for tarps. Like sometimes people use them for like roof coverings in like green homes, like earth homes, and stuff, because you can like lay those down as like a protective mat, like waterproof layer.
Okay.
Because they're painted on one side, but if you take the other side, it's open canvas, so they're already stretched. So I would just stretch them out and cut them, and we painted all kinds of shit on them. And now I don't have any canvas, so I really don't paint too much anymore.
Yeah. Well, you're doing what, woodwork now?
Yeah, it's more just the metal stuff and the woodwork. I do a little bit of wood furniture and stuff like that, but. That takes up so much time that it's like, you kind of want to like, unless somebody really wants to spend a lot of money on the woodwork, it's almost not worth the time because you spend so much time making everything perfect.
Well, that's a manual labor. Like at that point,
it's tough.
Like you got to pay for the labor, you got to pay for the creativity. Like you're not getting something that's cheap. Right? You're getting something that's quality made by someone who knows what they're doing, and it's a one-of-a-kind piece.
And a lot of people don't want to spend money on it. They're like, oh, I can go to IKEA and get the same thing. And it's like, well, you should go to IKEA.
Yeah, it's like, well, you're going to go to IKEA, pay $100.
I've had to tell people that before, like, man, you should probably just go to IKEA.
Yeah, it's like, because at that point, you're not, if you want to go to IKEA, your mind's set on a price, and you're not going to want to pay artist prices.
Well, it's just that, and most people don't understand what it takes to make a custom piece of furniture. Like you said, you got to go get the material, the design, the meeting with the client. Like it ends up being like 3 meetings, plus you going to get stuff. Probably going to get more stuff because you didn't get all the stuff the first time. You know?
Yeah, it's labor intensive, and that's like one reason why I wouldn't do it. The other reason is I can't do it. Like I respect the fuck out of that because I don't use tools. I do my best not to fix anything because like there's people that are made to do that have been groomed knowledgeable for it.
Man, I wouldn't say I'm made to do it, but I know how to do a lot of it just because of my past in Chambersburg there. I worked at a garage for a little bit and built a few homes with my dad and my stepdad, and you just having your hands and stuff since a little kid, you know, you kind of just pick up a lot of things over the years, and there's like I can change my own brakes and
more power to you. Like my dad did that when he would try to teach me something like, hey, come down and learn this. You're gonna need to use it. I would get down there and I would be like, couldn't you just take this to a garage?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, go away. Because like I'm like, why would I want to do this? Like as a kid, I already know that there's somewhere that you could take this.
Right.
Instead of spending time doing this, I could be out playing. Like
I'll probably always change my brakes. Man, what was it? They wanted to charge me like $500, $600 to do them the whole way around, and I did it for like $180 in an hour and a half.
Where the fuck are you? $500 for brakes and chain?
For all of them, yeah. For like the pads and the rotors and all that shit.
That's actually not that. Like if you're getting rotors and everything like that, to me that's not. I would have paid that and like, you know what? you're gonna give me a ride home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna drink. I might touch myself, and then you're gonna come back and get me. Like
I think it wasn't rotors. It was pads, and one of the calipers needed changed, and then it needed a ball joint or something like that. And I was just like, nah, you guys aren't doing.
I don't even know what a fucking ball joint is. I'd be like,
it's the thing in the front that makes your wheel go up and down like this and stuff.
Yeah,
and keeps it from going flat on the ground.
Yeah, no.
There's usually one at the top and one at the bottom. But around here in Pittsburgh, them motherfuckers go like that.
Well, yeah, because it's nothing but potholes.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Well, you got any murals? Murals. I said mules. Jesus Christ. I'm half a beer in.
We have a mini home that we're going to be painting some, like a mini home. We're going to paint the outside of it, so there are sections that are like able to be painted, and then when you look at the home, it'll look like you're looking through to the woods on the other side.
I'm anxious to see that.
Yeah,
like,
cool.
Are you guys going to try to do like
realistically? Yeah. I know you see some of the stuff that I do is a little more realistic than what John does.
Well, John has a very
unique style.
It's animated.
Yeah.
I mean, and I say that as a compliment. Like I love watching you two do murals because
they're different.
You're fucking killing them. The taco place you did, where everything was in there. Did you do the chicken place with him too? The
chicken place.
Well, I'm saying
the taco place. That had the chicken in it.
Yeah,
that was at the taco place beside the yard. I did not do the taco place with him, but we did the yard in Robinson and the one downtown in Market Square, and then we did.
There's one on Shady Side too, right?
Yeah, we did not do anything there. And then we did the Dose Taqueria, or however you say it, at Southside on Carson Street, and then the one out at McKnight.
Okay. So, like, when you go there, what's prep time? Like, how long does it take you to put down all the plastic or
it depends. If they're still doing like those places, the majority of it they were still mid fabrication, so we could kind of just go in and paint.
Oh, that's nice. So,
yeah,
so you don't have to tape anything off, really?
And we tape some things. It really depends. Usually the first whole day is like set up, getting the image on the wall, getting it ready to paint,
No,
it all depends. Each one's different. Like, man, some jobs take like 2 or 3 days to set up. Like the bigger ones,
But you guys are killing it, though. Like
we try to get them done fast.
I mean, you two are a tag team.
I think we did, 11 walls last year. Or no, we did 10 different jobs, and it ends up being like 30-some walls.
God damn, that's a lot of
something
pain.
like that. Yeah.
How much fun are you two having though?
I mean, it's a good time. It can be stressful. You spend a lot of time with anybody. It gets.
Oh yeah.
But it's fun. It's always fun just out there painting and stuff like that. But you still got to run it like a business.
Well,
that's like the difference between it being like just a hobby and full time.
Well, it becomes work. But who else is doing that many murals out here? Like,
I don't know too many. There are people out there doing them, but not a ton around here. There are a couple. There are a couple people that stay pretty proactive. And then on top of everything else that him and I do on the side, like all the furniture that I'm putting out and artwork on top of that, all the artwork he's putting out on top of that, like we work every day, 24/7, 7 days a week. Like
very prolific. I mean, like I like to think for myself as somebody who has a full-time job and then a family, which is beyond a full-time job. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's responsibility where it doesn't matter what it is, that comes first.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I feel I'm very prolific at this, at putting stuff out and just staying busy. But, like, I see you two, and it's like, almost like 24/7.
Yeah.
Like always seeing something new. It's especially in the summertime because that's the best time to paint murals. It's wild.
You have to though. Like I've had the coffee shop open for 7 years now, and it's like if you're not up working every day as like a business owner, as like somebody that doesn't have employees and stuff like that, you're not gonna the hustle. You ain't gonna make it.
No, and
there's people that get up at 4 a.m. and putting 15 hours in a day and barely sleeping. You gotta hustle nowadays.
I know what that's like. I was getting up at Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. I was getting up at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Fridays, I was getting up at 12 a.m.
Right.
For work. And recently that changed, which is awesome. But it's like, that takes a toll on you. I just had the first week of sleeping in and getting up at 6:14, 6:17. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. I have all this anxiety and this energy. I'm like, I have all this time. I could be doing crafts. I'm like, I could make my own macaroni or something.
That's it.
Yeah, there's so much. But
see, that's the thing with it when you're working by yourself and working for yourself. You can make macaroni.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're like, no, I need to go in there and work. The macaroni can wait.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what keeps you? Do you have a set schedule? Like, you get up every day?
I get up every day. I make the coffee. I put the Discovery Channel on because I try to watch what was on the night before because my girlfriend really doesn't like to watch the Discovery Channel shows. So I'll put them on in the morning there, and I'll get myself situated. I'll have my artwork all set up, and then I'll watch a couple Discovery Channel shows while I'm working.
Yeah,
I don't really watch them.
You're listening to them.
Kind of, man. When you got that grinder, you ain't listening to much.
So what time do you start grinding?
I usually start grinding at 8. I try to be conscious of the neighbors. I am in an apartment building where not an apartment building. It's a house, and there's a guy that lives below me. But he knew what he was moving into when he knew I did artwork up there. And the old lady that lived there before was half deaf, so she didn't care.
That makes it. Yeah.
I don't know if she was half deaf. She was older, and her and I got along well. So that was mean. I'm sorry. But
I mean, here's the thing. Chances are, if she's old,
she'll probably watch this.
Yeah,
she gets on my Facebook and stuff. But she's super nice. Her and I get along well, and so she didn't care that I did the artwork up there. Long story short, if it was super obnoxious, super late, she would say something. But I try to keep it during the day, and the weekends when I know they're there, I try not to. But I have a deck on the front and a deck on the back, so if it's nice out, they can't say much if I'm outside.
Yeah, that's
from what is it 8 to 8 almost.
Well,
loud.
It's almost from dusk to dawn. I think is a noise order.
Yeah, you can kind of be loud up until people normally sleep.
Yeah. See, luckily I don't do that. I mean, my neighbors are pretty cool. I have a very nosy one across the street where he'd be because I'll go out in the driveway and spray paint. If I'm doing something like that. What are you doing over there? What you got going on? And I'm like Jesus Christ! Leave me the fuck alone. He's a nice guy, but he pissed me off when this is kind of funny. There was I was getting ready to go to work, and this is at a previous job a couple years ago.
Brought a 6-pack.
Yeah, I know. I should have.
I wish I would have known.
Let me see if the wife will go get some.
No, it's fine. That's fine.
Beer run, please.
No, it's fine.
So he instead of coming up to my door because he needed something, I had no problem helping. He's yelling, "Robbie!" And he's calling me Robbie. And I had a coach that called me that, and it just fucking infuriated me for no end. I hated that. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? I look out the window. I'm getting ready for work. I just let him stand out there and yell for a little bit. And I'm like, and I open the door. I'm like, dude, what do you want? He's like, I have a tree that fell down and I need moved. I'm like, you couldn't ask me this? I'm getting ready to go into work, and this was for second shift. I'm like, you need to move now. He's like, yeah. He's an older man, so I went over, I helped him, but I was and the whole time, he didn't even think about walking up to my steps.
Just yelling.
Yeah, what happens if I was taking a shit or a shower or something and
people are crazy. I've got a neighbor like that, and she was super nice, and then she was not nice, and then she was super nice, and then not nice, and it's just now when I see her, she tries to be nice sometimes, and I'm just don't even talk to me, please.
Yeah, it's like if you see her, you just pull your phone out, act like you're on.
Something.
Like, yeah, I'll be right there.
Man, I was like washing my dishes the other day, looking out the window, and they were like in the park across the street, and she saw me like washing my dishes and started like waving to me. I'm like, why are you looking in my house like this? Like, I'm on the second floor washing my dishes in a little baby window like this.
She might got a thing for you.
No, she's weird, man.
Man, she might want you to put your coffee in her cup, man.
She's very weird. I could go into some other stories, but that'll have to wait until we're not on camera. Can't get the police up at my house.
No, I never want them there.
Nope. Not having the police up at the house.
Yeah. I don't want them to come in here, and I got nothing going on. But I'm just saying, like,
I don't either. It's just she's weird.
Yeah, he's a weird one too. So, have you been showing? Because, like,
man, I just recently I have a bunch of like clients that have just been hitting me up for like private stuff, and I just if the work's coming in, but man, I don't need to be out there, you know, like.
I can't get in the showing anymore. Like the festivals, and I think they're fun in a way, but like what gets me is it's just like it's all music and alcohol focused, and it's like sometimes the artwork can take a hit. Like I've seen people knock stuff over, like, and it's not intentional, it's always accidental, but it's like if that gets broken, are they going to pay for it?
Right.
No.
There are a few Redfish Bowls I think that are fairly worth attending as an artist. If you have the time and the facilities to set up for the Three Rivers Arts Fest, I don't think I've ever met one person that was unhappy after showing at that.
I'm so nervous to do it, but also like I don't have the time to take a week off.
Yeah, you got to take.
It's like 5 days.
You get 3 or 4 days, I think, or you get 5 days, half a week, or half the 2 weeks maybe, and I think you get 5 days. But then you also have to have 5 days worth of work to sell. You know. Do you follow Art by Ty? At Art by Ty.
That sounds so familiar.
Check him out sometime. He started showing down there, and he does very cool artwork, like pen and ink drawings. But
Art by Ty.
I followed him before I saw him down there, and he went down there, and he says he does well. You sell a couple $100 pieces, and you paid for your lot. And
yeah, see, like that's the thing. I don't want to drag everything down there because you have to drag it down there every day, every night.
Well, yeah, unless you plan on leaving it there all night, and a bunch of people got their stuff stolen last year. And
yeah, and that's not something.
I'd probably camp. I'd probably set up my thing and have a little camp, like a tent that I could just set up in the middle of my 10x10 and just stay there all night. You know what I mean?
Have a jug for taking piss in.
You sit down there with my pistol. Somebody comes rolling in there, be like, "Come get some."
Luckily, I haven't had anything stolen off me for the most part. I don't think. I've had recently. I had some issues with stuff that I guess was given away.
Right,
and that's something I don't want to get into. I'm not calling people out on camera, but
it's hard to like have your stuff stolen unless you're like leaving it. That's like one thing down there. It's like overnight downtown at the point that you can freely walk through.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty easy to go get something if you want it.
Yeah, you could just start going through everyone's shit. Be like, oh, I fucking like this. Why would I pay $500 for this painting when I can take it?
They have security down there and stuff, because I've definitely gotten yelled at on the boat a couple times. Chris Bowles, what's up? Me and Chris, they made us move a couple times. We were parked on side. Like, if you park on the side at the point after 11... The Point is actually a state park.
I didn't know that.
It is, yeah, and they all close at like 10 or 11, like statewide. So the cops start walking around that thing, and there was a bunch of us, me, Chris, maybe like 3 or 4 other people just sitting in the boat, and they walked up, "Hey, you guys can't park here." I was like, "Oh, okay."
You need a sign, buddy.
Yeah, you can park on the other side of the river, so just float over there real quick. And it's weird. You can park over there 24/7, damn near all summer, and nobody cares.
Yeah, but you move over to, I guess would be the left side Or no, it'd be the right side, depending on where you're coming from.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, so it's either the football stadium side or the point side.
Yeah.
But yeah, that side over by the football stadium, man, you can park there all year summer.
I haven't seen Chris in forever, man. It probably 2-3 years.
I saw him there right before Christmas. Just John's studios there, so I meet John there all the time.
Yeah, see, I want to get down and I actually want to go see John's studio and see Cam and see the whole layout.
It's nice.
Yeah, I wanted to go to Cam's show, but it was like we had vacation and everything else.
Chris just sold a piece for me that you would relate to slightly. It's got an Atmosphere song in the back of it.
Oh, which one?
Yesterday.
Oh my god, dude, I love that.
That's a good song.
That song makes me think of my pops.
Right? That's such a good song. It makes you think of just a lot of things, just in general, you know?
I love Atmosphere too, but
his name's Sean as well.
Yeah, Sean Daly.
So it's like when he like sings that song, he says his name.
Yeah.
So when I wrote that song in the background, it says Sean a bunch of times.
Yeah. What you should have done was make out your signature. Instead of signing it down there.
It was two people randomly walking towards each other on the street, just casually passing. But the song talks about yesterday, how you could like. It says like, "Oh, was that you? I saw you yesterday."
Yeah.
It's like, and it's these two random people that are like possibly star-crossed lovers, just randomly crossing paths on the street.
I'm gonna have to look up online because I want to see that piece now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that one. I was surprised it didn't sell, and then Chris just finally sold it down at New Amsterdam, I believe. I wish I knew who got it. I have no idea who bought it, but I stretched it out on this like old beat up frame, so like there's like wooden frames sticking out in the corners and shit. So
that's very Basquiat too.
That's cool.
Like that's something I want to get into more. Is like experimenting with the canvas and the frames because
I got all that canvas for free. So when I cut it up, none of it was straight. So I would paint on it flat, and then I was like, man, I need a frame for this. So I just grabbed some scrap chunks and like. I put it on the back to fit the frame, and some of the frames ended up being like crooked, and that one's got like a chunk of wood popping out of it.
But that's what makes it very artsy and original. It's like, fuck it, this is what I had, and this is what I made, like, and it becomes part of the beauty.
Well,
like,
who knows when I'll fucking make paintings again?
Yeah,
you know, like probably not until somebody gives me a bunch of free canvas.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to have a truckload of canvas.
You know what I mean? Like, well, that's what I had. I had. Man, probably 15 10-foot wide by like 20-foot long of those canvas. I did a whole show where I had like 40 different pieces. Steve bought one. Steve Pierce.
Yeah.
He's got this one that's like a picture of me like screaming with like all of these things coming out. And it's cool. I'm surprised he bought it. It's a cool one. That's probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever painted.
Yes. Steve's pretty cool, man.
I like Steve.
Yeah, I like Steve too. He's someone that likes to acquire local art,
right?
Which I appreciate.
Well, Steve, if you're listening to this, motherfucker, I've got this piece of artwork at my house that you said you wanted, that I said you could have for free. That's just been waiting for you to come pick it up.
Go pick it up, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Steve, go pick it up. Go pick it up.
That's funny. It's actually one of the blacklight pieces. It's got like all these words written around it. It was part of the story show that I did that had like actors in it. And I don't know if you...
was that up in Allentown?
Yeah, did you go to that?
No, I was talking
to you. It's like
across
from one of your murals.
Yeah. Like, I was actually John and I were supposed to have a show together up there. The gentleman, Rodney, who contacted me was like, hey, I want to do a show. I want you to do this. These are some of the artists that I'm thinking of putting with you. And he was like, which one do you like? And I was like, I don't remember any of the other ones. So it's like it's not disrespectful to them. But I knew John. So like I knew him personally in a way. So I was like, you know what? I like his work. He's a crazy cat. I can get involved with him. Like I was like, this would be cool. And then all of a sudden, it was like they shut it down for no reason.
There was a bunch of weird things that happened with everybody there, which I don't know exactly, so I'm not going to speculate anything. But somebody was mad with somebody about something, you know what I mean?
It was something that probably wasn't even related to the fucking show. Huh?
It wasn't, no. It was, I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the people that rented the building and him, and, you know, flavors don't mix sometimes.
Yeah. But that spot was cool because
it was very nice.
Like you walked up these creaky old steps on from what I remember, and then you made a left, and it was like going down like a very short hallway, and then you made a right, and it was like a huge open room that was like had cutouts and like an old fireplace too. I think
they had all kinds of stuff in there, man.
Yeah,
it's cool. Like their little office was super cool.
Yeah, because like the one thing I wanted to do with that was it was going to either be that show or another show for me. I wanted a girl, a woman, dressed in a white, like almost like wedding gown, or just like a nice, soft white dress and a gas mask, just playing a fucking violin.
Yeah, right.
Like just walking around. I thought that would be pretty dope.
Right.
Like, I thought it would go good with the theme of like where I was at the time. Like I was doing everything gas mask.
Right.
And I love that, which I sold. Anytime I put something up with a gas mask, it was like
gone.
Yeah, I loved it, but I had to get away from it. I can't just stick with something because it makes money.
Man,
it's not
why not, man? That's like me telling me not to do metal work anymore.
Yeah, but it's all fucking different.
Oh, metal work makes you money? Don't do that anymore.
Well, no, but you're doing different things with it.
So what? Man, a ton of people paint gas masks.
I love gas masks.
There are so many things that relate to gas masks. There are so many different styles of gas masks. There are different eras of gas masks.
There's like Russian, there's Japanese,
there's
Korean.
You can go wild with it. You can have kids in gas masks, old people in gas masks.
The one gas mask I want is an actual Walt Disney one. It's a Mickey Mouse one, and it has the canister right here. And it has like the ears and everything. It's like fucking disgusting.
Right.
I found one on some site. It was like another resale site or something. It wasn't eBay. They wanted $1,300 for it, and I was like, "How bad do I want this?" And I wanted it bad. Then I'm like, how bad will my wife kill me if I get a $1,300 gas mask that I can't even wear?
You need to get that for the coronavirus thing coming up. You see you coming up like, I'm good, guys. I got my mask on.
I should do a live feed and put on one of my gas masks, like going to shop and save.
Oh man! Well, what do you wear in here, like respirator wise?
I was wearing a 3M mask for a while, and then I had like this one that it just wrapped around you, and it had like the.
Well, here's the thing: if you buy ones that are reusable, you better stock up on them now. Mm-hmm. So, I already had a couple buddies be like, "Man, I can't find respirators. All the Home Depots and everything's sold out." I actually last week ordered like a 5-pack of reusable respirators, like paint respirators that are 40 hours each.
Yeah.
Man, I'm stocked up.
Yeah, you're good, man.
I've got like a month and a half of pure corona freeness.
Here's the fucked up thing is we're all gonna die. Like it doesn't matter.
Man, my lady, she works in the building that are like testing this stuff in. Most of our immune systems are set up to like just kind of funnel it out.
Yeah.
People are getting a little.
I think when something's new and there's no real fix to it, there's no cure. I don't want to say cure, but there's no vaccine for it.
Well, people are going to get sick. Some people are going to die. Yes, that always happens, but it's not going to be. I don't think as bad as people.
I agree. I mean,
us as Americans, our immune systems are kind of like we can run through shit and back.
Well, I guess we have in America we're like 5% of people dying from it, which is like the highest or something.
It might be, but there aren't a ton of cases.
Yeah, see, I don't know much about this. All I know is that there's, 12,000 people last year or this year died of the flu.
So many more people at this point have died and will die of the flu this year than probably will of corona.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it because when I started hearing this coronavirus, I got rid of all cable. All cable, so I'm like, coronavirus? I was like, Isn't that a hangover? Like I'm thinking of the beer. Like,
right.
Oh, I got that coronavirus.
It's
too many tacos and Coronas.
Well, like a lot of these places that are having issues, they also have poop and pee running down the middle of the street.
Yeah, that's not healthy either.
Well, I mean, not all of them do, obviously.
Yeah,
but like the places where, like, man, some of these places, there's like buildings with pipes leaking poop down through the walls, and I was like, well, yeah, everybody got sick. I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have fecal matter.
Yeah, you've got some of these areas are more like one building is more populated than like a square mile of Pittsburgh. Like
it's insane.
It's intense how many people are in a certain packed into an area,
and that's why I think right now. I think with everything going on, this is a good time for people like you and myself to put out art out there, just to make people just take their fucking minds off of all the craziness.
Did you notice like kids don't get it?
They don't.
Have you seen a kid with it yet?
I honestly don't know.
I'm
gonna ask a kid, be like, "Hey kid,
somebody
you got corona?"
brought that up to me the other day. Like, kids don't get it. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, why is that?
I want to Google it right now, but I feel like I'm not going to Google in the middle of this. But I was told yeah,
I'm Googling.
I think kids don't get it, and they also think it might be seasonal. They think when it warms up, it might disappear, like the flu. There's like so many things they don't know.
Kids getting the coronavirus.
I don't think they do.
Children aren't at risk for coronavirus.
They don't get it, yeah.
Who reports say? But that's from US Today.
I'm pretty sure they don't get it. Like,
is US Today a reliable source now?
Nah, I'm pretty sure they don't get it. I think my girlfriend told me that actually. I remember.
Is it because of?
I don't know. I don't think they know yet. It's like just a thing. Like kids don't get it.
That's fucked up, man. Like,
that's kind of
funny.
It's kind of funny.
Like, it's funny, but it's like kids can't get corona, but AIDS,
right?
And like HIV. But I understand that's something you're born with, and it's a carrier.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
I guess we haven't seen enough yet to. If you have the corona, like they say you're going to be stuck with it forever. You might transmit it to a child.
So.
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, so it's basically like once you have it,
I think you have it forever.
So it's like
every
herpes. It's like herpes.
But almost every disease, once you have it, you almost have a little bit of it in you forever. Yeah. It's almost impossible to get rid of certain things. Like you just kind of have it. You just live with it. It's forever.
Oh man, yeah.
Like once you get the flu, you always have those cells just kind of floating in you.
Yeah, but then you get the flu shot, which I hate getting the flu shot.
No, the flu shot actually is kind of like a weird thing. It's not actually the flu that's going around right now. It's like a flu from a couple years ago. And I know
who the fuck says the flu?
I know so much about this because of my girlfriend. She's an immunology doctor. So
it's a flu from a couple years ago.
That's how they're able to manufacture it and give it out. Like it takes so long to make the virus vaccines and shit.
So they're like sneezing this bag. We're gonna sew it up.
I don't know how exactly they do it, but it takes so long, and so you're getting what they're trying to do is every year if you get your flu shot, you get a different version of the flu, but then your body is just slowly building up this super massive defense against the flu. Hopefully,
see, I hate getting it. Every time I get a flu shot, I get wicked sick. I mean, like 2 to 3 days of just pure throwing up and everything else. Yeah.
Knock on everything. I've never had one, and I normally don't get the flu. My girlfriend's going to be mad at me right now. But
are you sick? You don't get the flu? You don't get sick?
Rarely, unless I've gotten sick a few times, but it was because I've gotten too fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's self-induced, man.
Yeah,
that's not sick.
A little too much of this, a little too much of that, and the next thing you know, you're like passed out for like 8 days.
Yeah, I got real sick when we moved in the house. We had a party, and I drank half a handle of gin, and I can remember falling over outside. I didn't want to wait in line at my own house to go to the bathroom, so I went outside to piss. And I just kept going pee, and I just kept going. Next thing I know, like, I'm pissing, and I'm falling. I came in, I was a mess. My buddy's like, what happened? I was like, I fell. That's all I could say. I fucking fell. I fell.
I had this like rotten tooth for like 10 years, and it would cause me to get like sinus infections every now and then. But I just got a root canal the other day, so I'm hoping that's like. But
I hate the dentist. I like there's a specific Muppet character that I'm terrified of.
I know which one you're talking
about.
Yeah,
and I also hate the dentist. Like I'm terrified.
I don't really mind it. I actually just got a cavity filled the other day. No Novocaine, nothing. And
with the drill and everything?
Oh yeah, and I was in there, and like, so funny thing is, my dentist is friends with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend went in to get a cavity filled like an hour or two after I did, and I took her in there, and I'm sitting out there like messing around on my iPad, and they were like, your boyfriend was in here and he didn't get any Novocaine. He just let us drill into his mouth. Just nothing. And they were like, yeah, he's a little weird. But it reminds me a lot of my artwork, you know? With the little tremble, and it's just like, you just feel it.
Yeah, and it hurts.
Not really. The cavities don't really hurt too much. The root canal, I was like, numb it up, doc.
See, I can't take it. I literally I've been dentist. And the last time I had to go get a cavity filled, or was it a cavity? No, it was I had a filling that came out, and they had to redo it and drill it out. They gave me like Valium, and I wasn't feeling anything because of all the anxiety.
Right.
So I popped another one, dude. I was high, like I didn't feel a thing. And my wife took me out to go get subs after because I was hungry. So we're just fucking we're at Rudy's, and we're sitting there, and I'm drooling. And I'm high. Yeah, and I'm high.
Surprised you fall asleep.
Dude, people there thought I was special needs.
That's funny.
They're like, you guys can sit here. Because I'm like getting up. I'm like talking all like this. Because like I'm all numb.
Right,
and I'm fucking drooling. And I'm trying to get my soda. I'm like,
you're not supposed to eat after that. You can fuck yourself up.
Man,
Or you can like bite your lip and not know it.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen.
It is. But that's why I went in and she was like, do you want Novocaine? I was like, nah. I was like, I've had a couple cavities. So I was like, any other time I've gotten a cavity, they just given me the gas. And I was like, I kind of just want to get this over with. I was like, let's just dive right into it. I'll let you know if we need it. She started going, and I had 2 cavities up there, and then I had to get a crown, and then I got one down here. And it was just like, she's like, you alright? I was like, we're good, just get that shit done. Like,
oh my god, fuck that. I
could feel the chips flying through.
I couldn't do it.
It ain't that bad.
No, it's fucking horrible.
The worst part was when they put the little shields on at the end so they can fill your tooth, but they like block it off so they fill it.
Yeah, and they squirt that in.
Yeah. That part hurts worse than anything when they jam that up in your gum because you feel it like. It feels like somebody's in there with floss. Like
I hate that. I'm trying to be better with my mouth, and
yeah.
I brush 3 times a day already.
But brush and flossing's the thing.
I can't get in the flossing.
You have to.
I know. I keep trying. And
that's what'll fuck you. Like the floss, you can brush once a day, but if you floss 3 times a day, you're good to go. The flossing's what fucks it up.
I'm trying to get in the flossing.
Get yourself a water floss.
We got one, and it fucks with my head. Like
yeah, that's what
because I'm using it. I'm using a water pick, and then all of a sudden it's just like it wakes you up.
Yeah, once you're done, like if you just floss all the time, you probably never need to go to the dentist unless you break a tooth or something.
Yeah, I'm trying. My wife gets on me about that. So here, let's swing it back around about some art shit. You got anything coming up?
Oh man, unfortunately I do not. Other than a couple Redfish Bowl shows, probably go to a couple of those. I just have so much private stuff. I'm doing a large 6-foot piece right now that's taking up a lot of time.
Is it all metal?
Mm-hmm. If you follow my Instagram, I'll be posting videos working on it. But it's just big. It's a lot of tedious work, so I've been putting hours in on that guy.
And we're back. Sorry, the camera came out.
Battery's dead.
For some reason, it wasn't charging while it was recording. So, as we were letting it charge, I actually forget what we were talking about.
We were talking about opportunities coming up and what other things we were working on. We got a couple jobs coming up. Nothing too crazy. I tried nothing to like put out there for people to come attend. We might be painting a food truck that you guys possibly see driving around the Strip District and stuff, but they're going through some names with or going through some issues with their name. The name they want for the truck might be taken, so...
Shouldn't that be something that somebody should have already thought of when they open a food truck?
I mean, the food's going to be the food. The name can always be changed.
Yeah.
You know, the food idea is there. I think they're just going a little low with the name. They could get a little cooler with it. They'll get there. They'll get there.
So and I've said this to to almost every other artist that I've had here on the podcast, is we live in a city that is very talented. I think there is a vast amount of people that are skillful in some artsy way, artistic way.
Right.
Have you met someone that has been like you've seen them online or seen their stuff, and then when you meet them, you're like, fucking love your work, or anything like that?
There are not too many random Pittsburgh artists that I meet anymore that I haven't met before. There are a few. I'm terrible with names, so trying to tell people's names.
Yeah, I'm used to I seen this piece and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I know when I was talking to Cam, I was breaking down a piece that he had. He was like, "Yeah, I remember posting that."
Right. I really wish I could have went to that Cincinnati show that had V Hills. I don't know how you say his name. V Hills, VHILS. It was just at Cincinnati. He does a portraiture and stuff, but he chisels it out. And he explodes the stuff. He just had a show at Cincinnati. It might still be there. But
I think he actually has worked with Retna, if you're familiar with him. Retna is he's come up with his own language and alphabet in a way.
Oh, that's interesting.
And he got his name obviously from a Wu-Tang song and stuff like that, but he was a graffiti writer that has gone into fine art. He's worked with Louis Vuitton, Nike, all these big ass corporations. But him himself, and I'm not saying this rudely, but he's a wild cat. I just seen a video of him literally the other day taking a Crink marker and literally walking up to a Rolls Royce and doing a thing. It was permitted, but you're this guy is getting this, and I know you do murals and everything like that. I heard his minimum payment for a mural, $250,000.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
I mean, that's wild. I could never think of being paid $250,000 for a piece of my art.
Did you ever follow Drew Brophy?
No.
I think that's his name. I'm not sure if that's his name, but I'm thinking of the guy who did all of the old Billabong t-shirts and the Salt Life.
I know what you're talking about.
I follow him, and I'm pretty sure his name's Drew Brophy, but he does surfboard art and that sublime style artwork, but his minimum's pretty high, it ends up being $5 or $6 grand just to start, plus $30 per square foot,
Now, could you even fathom getting paid that much? I mean,
we get paid a good bit for certain murals. It depends on the project, depends on the aspect of what we're trying to accomplish. I mean, it all depends on the client, So some of our murals we get paid a decent amount for.
Yeah, I've been paid would be 4 figures is my most for a mural.
I mean, singularly, yeah. But I mean, you got to remember, I've used to work on large installations. That I was an engineer for 8 years.
Yeah, see, you have a lot more experience than I do.
Yeah, it's a different world.
And that's
a different world out there.
I mean, you have been around for a long time,
right?
And it's
my first big project when I opened the coffee shop was a huge contract with Giant Eagle, you know, like it was a good bit of money, you know. Like we made 6 different signs for them, but at the end of the day, like it looks like a lot of money when you like get the check, but by the time you pay all the bills and do all the design work, and
it's a day's work.
It ends up being a day's work, just like everybody else.
But see, that's something like that I truly admire. To somebody like you in your situation, you're doing what you love,
right?
And it's like it's work, but it's not. It's the same time.
It can be, man. It's tough, man. The first 4 or 5 years was ramen noodles. You know, I'm just getting to on the 7th year, 8th year, where I'm like, oh man, I could actually go get some lobster if I want to. You know, but I still can't buy a house.
Yeah, but you're doing what you love for a living, and I'd love to get to that point. I would love to, but like someone like you that's doing it, I have so much admiration and respect for.
And if I had kids and 2 kids and 2 dogs, you'd see me out there having a fucking regular job too.
Nah,
I would.
I couldn't see that.
It's different. It's different, man. I mean, when you can get like an alright job, I mean, insurance, all kinds of things like that. Like I could go be an engineer again and probably have like insurance and all that stuff paid for and probably be making a good bit more than I am right now, but it's it is what it is. There are give and takes. I'm actually moving here in a couple years with my girlfriend. We're going to move either to somewhere down south where it's really, really warm, or somewhere slightly up north that has really good schools. She's got to go finish her like doctorate.
Kids.
No, just doctorate school stuff.
Kids are no joke, man.
For me, I just like the way I have things set up now. I could probably move anywhere. It might be slow for a little bit, but
well, if you leave Pittsburgh, we're gonna miss you. I'll tell you that now.
Come visit.
Yeah,
see, one place is New Orleans, man.
Yeah,
that could be the spot.
Yeah, see, like I'd love to go there, but I get sidetracked because I'm into like paranormal. Like I love hearing all those ghost stories. Right. That's something that I believe in.
Man, I don't have much of a side life other than work.
Well, see, I have no choice, man. I go to work, I come home, I got to be dad, and then then on nights and weekends, I'm the artist.
Even when my girl wants to go do stuff, I'm like, I'm probably gonna go work.
I hate leaving my house. I do. Like anytime I can ask my wife, like, hey, can you pick us up on the way home? She's like, you can't get it. I'm like, I just don't want to. Oh, it gets her so mad, but she's a sweetheart and gets it for her.
I just like to work. I enjoy my work.
Yeah, but then it's not work. Like it's like you have, and this isn't to downplay your success or anything, but you have a very successful hobby. And I mean that as a compliment. Like you're doing something you love.
If I had somebody that would pay me hourly the rate that I make hourly now, I'd be in there all the time. You know what I mean?
See, I've had jobs where I make really, really, really good money, and it's like I hate that because like I'm literally giving up my dreams for a job.
Well, I've had like jobs where there's the potential to make good money, but it's like, oh, you're not going to make this for 10 years, but in the meantime, you're still going to do the type of work that you should be getting paid.
Dude, that's
it's like, no, I should be getting paid the loot now because I'm busting my butt.
Yeah. Well, that's something a lot of kids don't get into now. Like these young Thundercats come out of school and get a job, and they're like, well, my education says I should be at this. It's like, well, you're not going to get that because you got to work for it.
Nowadays, if you got to direct your children in a good path, you know.
But what's a good path? Like that?
Man, there are so many easy ways to make a lot of money that you could have a person prepare for.
Yeah, and
kicking field goals. You could have your kid up there practicing, you know? Kick that field goal, son. Girl, if you're better at kicking field goals, they let them in the NFL now, too.
They should.
And they're getting there.
Yeah. See,
for kickers, that's
My boy is going to be probably something that involves being a manual laborer, which is fine. He loves trucks. Like I see him owning a trucking company or something.
Diesel mechanics, man, make a ton of money.
Fuck yeah! And my daughter, She got the artsy bug. I love watching her draw and paint because that's where you see.
But the thing is,
freedom.
Like, if you get your child started at being a commercial artist or an artist that's trying to make a living at it, actually early, like I've got 8 years of trying to be an artist. Well, if you started trying to be an artist when you were 13, how you got 8 years on it by the time you actually get out to the real world, you know? And then you get out into the real world and you're like, oh, let me stretch these art legs.
Yeah,
And it's like
what's cool. I set up a page for my daughter already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put my kids online.
Right.
I never do that. But what she wants to do, and I'm teaching her about business and stuff like that.
Right.
Because she just loves to do all this art stuff. We're going to sell, and then we're going to start in the summer, where it's going to give her activities and stuff to do.
Right.
Do little paintings, little drawings, nothing more than $15. I'm going to make a Facebook page, an Instagram account, and then get like some of my art friends. And I'm not pawning this on you if it's not something you don't want to do, but maybe her do something and you work with her.
Right.
Sell for $15, and if you guys want to cut or whoever wants to cut, that's fine.
Well, that and you should get our stuff into that art all night.
Oh, yeah,
that's really a good one. That just to take your stuff in and just to go see your artwork hung up and
that's a confidence builder right there. It's like, oh my god, I have someone looking at my stuff.
Right.
Well, her birthday's in July and she's turning 5, and it's been since she was probably 2 because she's wanted to come in the studio. I said, when you're 5. You can come in Daddy's studio and paint with them. So she's going to have her own little corner of
nice.
I'm getting her an easel. I'm getting her all this shit for her birthday. But you haven't really been showing much either.
No, just busy. Man, it's hard to show and people keep buying it.
God bless you. So I think we're at a point now where we're gonna dwindle this down. Eric, tell the good folks of the world and the internet and in La La Land, let them know where to find you. And
you can find me at www.coffee-shop.com or at Instagram would be at mycoffeeshop.com. But if you go to the website, all of the links and all of that on there. I actually just redid the website.
I was actually at that, and I was looking at it.
Man, I spent like 40 hours on that thing.
It's very, very nicely done.
Thank you.
Easily navigated.
Yeah.
And that's something I have to do personally. So.
They take a while, and if you don't have any experience in making like a website or any of that type of man, they can be daunting.
Are you doing the coding? Or?
I did all of it.
I use WordPress.
Yeah, WordPress. Yeah, but I mean, you can get in there and mess with pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's.
WordPress.
I mean, I have a little bit of a background in web development and stuff, so I kind of understand it. But I'm like, I just want something where I can put shit on there.
Right.
I have to redo mine, and that's something I'm probably going to do soon.
Well, I'll use like a layout, but then from there I'll go in and like change the colors and do just where I want everything, and like I added like the different bars. Like if you go in, you can see like the bar that I built on the bottom that shows like all of my different totals.
I was looking at it on via.
It's different on the phone.
Yeah, I was looking for your shop. Like to buy the t-shirts because I know
I don't have that on there yet.
Because I was like,
so the only part of that I haven't figured out yet. I have it figured out. I just haven't done it yet. Is when you set up your shop, you got to have like your different security things set up the right way, like your SSL certificates and stuff. So you have the little lock up there that makes people feel safe when they're buying from you. I just have not spent the weekend to set all that up.
I do my store through Big Cartel.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I love that. It's secure. I love their support. Anytime I get someone who says, oh, your account's about to be locked, you need to check your PayPal. And I look at it, and it's from Kevin Jones, but then it's actually like blah, 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 at gmail.com or at Northwestern University at this. And I'm like, so I just forward that to the support team, and they're like, yeah, this is phishing.
Oh yeah, I ran my old website for 5-6 years with through my own shop and online commerce site and stuff. So I have a pretty good idea how to do all that. I just haven't had the time to set it back up.
Oh, dude, there is no time.
It's tough.
You got to force it in there. It's
tough.
Like, do I work on my website or get at least 4 hours of sleep?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like between the last 3 months or last 2 months, 2.5 months, I had to get a root canal, a bunch of teeth work done, 3 funerals. Oh man, it's a bunch of jobs, a bunch of driving around.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year so far. I'm ready for just to relax a little.
Yeah. Well, I hope today was relaxing for you.
It is. Yeah, the next couple days will be interesting.
Yeah. All right, guys, please go check out Sean Coffey here, and that's COFFE.
Why?
Why? There's a Y on there?
Yeah.
Oh, there is. There is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the Irish version.
Yeah, it's Irish coffee. So check him out. Subscribe to the podcast and comment.
Later, guys.